Y'all are obviously wondering what I'm gonna wear to meet the president. Here you go. It's the trans flag colors. Cute, right? Do you think I just knock on the front door? We're about to go. Is there anything in my teeth? This is my 221st day of publicly transitioning.
Having two X chromosomes does not immunize you from criticism.
Why do I always feel like crying?
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. If we've learned one thing in the year 2023, it's that anything is possible. And Dylan Mulvaney made an appearance at the RNC debate last night. This is shocking footage that we have exclusively of Dylan Mulvaney backstage before the debate. Watch this.
Producers called me and said that you're having stage fright, and on day 365, no less. Now tell me what's going on.
Well, it all started when I was 3.
Oh, honey, we're at places. Give me the abridged version.
What if they don't like me?
They will.
What if I mess up?
You won't.
But I've never performed on stage as a girl before.
We don't.
Hey, look at me. You are gonna go out there and you are gonna give them all the Dylan they know and love. And if you bomb, well, at least you bombed at the Rainbow Room.
You're right. What am I doing? It's day 365. We've got a show to do. Okay, how do I look?
Amazing, actually.
Wow, you're good.
I've had a little bit of practice. Tits up.
Tits up. Love ya.
Okay, so wasn't unconfirmed video of Dylan Mulvaney backstage at the GOP debate. But what we can confirm is a Dylan Mulvaney massive name drop during the debate, which was used savagely by Vivek Ramaswamy. Check this out.
The left, but it's even worse when Republicans try to play the same game. We're talking about that trans issue. And Nikki Haley's campaign launch video sounded like a woke Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light ad talking about how she would kick in heels. At the first debate, she said that only a woman can get this job done. That's what she said. After the third debate, when I criticized Ronna McDaniel after 5 failed years of leadership of this party and criticized Nikki for her corrupt foreign dealings as a military contractor, she said that I have a woman problem. Nikki, I don't have a woman problem. You have a corruption problem. And I think that that's what people need to know. Nikki is corrupt. This is a woman who will send your kids to die so she can buy a bigger house. This is the problem. Using identity politics more effectively than Kamala Harris is a form of intellectual fraud. And it actually needs to end. There's our donor puppet masters wielding their puppet right up here tonight. This is how this game is played. The puppet masters put up their puppet, and I reject the use of identity politics in this party. It has been a cancer coming from the left, and I'm sick and tired of the double standards the people of this country are too. Having 2 X chromosomes does not immunize you from criticism.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, man, ladies and gentlemen, you dropped the Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light line on Nikki Haley. Now, what is he talking about there with Nikki Haley? With Nikki Haley, what Vivek is doing is saying that Nikki Haley uses identity politics anytime she's in a jam, which is what the left does, right? Nikki Haley is going to use identity politics. A good example of this is when Vivek went thermonuclear after Nikki Haley last debate. She said it's because he doesn't like women. That's what she said. She used identity politics, and she does this quite often, actually. And by the way, Nikki Haley's been super creepy as of late. She's been super creepy when it comes to parental rights with their children, when it comes to Disney, for instance, saying that Disney should move to South Carolina, begging Disney to move to South Carolina. Meanwhile, her own state is banning investment in Disney. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one person who wants Disney to move to South Carolina, maybe it's Dylan Mulvaney, who's auditioning for the role of Snow White.
Wow, look at me. I put a show on when I go.
So maybe Dylan Mulvaney would have been a better fit on the debate stage. It would have been at the very least more entertaining, or maybe less painful than what happened to, say, Chris Christie last night when he was told to get off the stage and go get himself a nice meal.
Chris, your version of foreign policy experience was closing a bridge from New Jersey to New York. Yeah. So do everybody a favor, just walk yourself off that stage, enjoy a nice meal, and get the hell out of this race. When it comes to Nikki...
So he did that, and then he pulled a Dylan Mulvaney line. Whoa, baby, whoa. We're talking legend status here. Now, what's interesting, though, is that as we have covered on this program, Dylan Mulvaney was on a stage this week in public with chairs and well, actually not an audience. Dylan Mulvaney gave what you could call it a speech in Penn State College, Pennsylvania is the city where Penn State is. It's a big university. It is a massive university, actually, Penn State. 100,000 students go there, and you would assume that with somebody who's as famous as Dylan Mulvaney, that, well, you'd be able to get an audience. But, ladies and gentlemen, even 6 months after the Dylan Mulvaney disaster, Bud Light is not recovered, and, well, neither has Dylan Mulvaney. Dylan Mulvaney gives speech to half-empty auditorium at Penn State. Let's go ahead and check the tape here. Does this look half-empty to you? No. There's Dylan Mulvaney on stage. You can see right there. And here's the lecture hall, which looks like it could probably be like 250 people. There's got to be less than 20 people there. This is a photo from Young America's Foundation. This is the original photo. They were there in the audience. Look at that. Maybe 20 people? Maybe 30? Dylan Mulvaney on stage. Look at this. There's no one. There's no one. It's empty. Empty. What incredible words of wisdom did those 20 people hear? By the way, like, you have to assume that some of these people are like the organizers, right? The janitors who wandered into the room. What pearls of wisdom were heard at this event? If you did show up, what incredible, insightful gems from above were delivered to you by Dylan Mulvaney? What profound thoughts were granted to those faithful who did show up, indeed, to this virtually empty room?
100%. I feel like my bigger picture I'll share with you is like my dream in life is to like have like Hello Sunshine like Reese Witherspoon, or do the Ryan Murphy thing and like make other people's stories. And I think a lot of those stories that I want to help make are black trans stories. And I know that I'm not the right one to like create those, but I want to help get our foot in the door. And I think I'm like one of the most privileged trans people in the world right now, and I'm starting to find seats at the table, and I want to be able to clear space for my other dolls. And I think a big part of that is like, it's happening offline, but I have these bigger dreams of how can we look at this outside of just the day-to-day of TikTok and like real mainstream Hollywood.
Okay, all right, okay. Oh my God. Okay, I would rather listen to a Nikki Haley speech, to be perfectly honest with you. Riley Gaines was booked at the exact same venue as Dylan Mulvaney. And Riley Gaines, who was banned, who had her speech banned, right? Showed up with a bullhorn, anyway, and drew more people than Dylan Mulvaney. Just throwing it out there. Okay? So this was a highly promoted, speaker fee funded, student fee funded speech. $40,000 is what Dylan Mulvaney charged for that speech that you just heard. And this is the result. Couldn't fill the room. So not a great plan. Not a great plan. Would have possibly been better to have just lip synced the entire speech. Could have gone like this.
The gays. I live for the gays. I live for them. I live for the gays. The gays, the gays, the gays. The gays, the gays, the gays make me happy. I don't wanna live for anyone else. Gay, gay, gay. Be gay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Are we done here? Are we done here? Just a reminder, if you send your kids to Penn State or to higher education, your money is being used to fund that speech. Dylan Mulvaney paid by speaker fees to give that speech at Penn State. Got it? Again, I would have probably rather listened to Nikki Haley than to have listened to the Dylan Mulvaney speech. But nonetheless, very excited that Dylan Mulvaney was name dropped at the debate. Very important cultural moment. Glad it happened, and glad we could be here for it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Benny. Stay based.